It's Lachlan Kitchen here as we're joined by one of the all-time greats of Indian cricket. We've got him on because I believe he is celebrating a birthday today. So we thought we'd get Lakshmipathy Balaji. He's an Indian cricket coach, but the former cricketer, best known, I know, for getting a hat-trick in the IPL. And he's joining us on the phone right now. Lakshmipathy, thank you very much for joining us on Talk 100.3.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much for hosting me, and thank you. I'm really glad that I could be able to give my time on this day.
Oh,
so,
no.
Thank you very.
No, very much. It's great to have you on and speak about your role in cricket. You know, you're a highly acclaimed Indian fast bowler, but what are you doing now? You're predominantly working as the bowling coach in the IPL and doing some coaching.
Yes, I do a lot of bowling workshop, and I'm a bowling coach for CSK for the last 5 years, and it's been a great journey for me since I retired from cricket. So it's been a great influence. Coaching has been a great influence in my career so far, and I've been enjoying that quite a bit now.
It really has seen a change, certainly, even ever since you made your debut back in 2003. Just the change in cricket as we move so far into franchise Test cricket. What do you think of so much franchise cricket? Do you think this is good for the game?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of professionalism has come in. When I started, there was hardly any kind of money, and security-wise, as a player, you need to really look up to some of the things where you need to be in a high standard. So top 10 cricketers in the entire country will make a mark when you represent the country. Apart from that, the first-class cricketers are a little bit trying to match up with, because there wasn't that much of income when it comes to professional income, and there used to be a lot of government jobs and all these stuff used to be the key aspect where you look to secure your future. But right now with the IPL and franchise cricket, things have changed, and people have been very open and very relaxed when it comes to their security side. And it's been a phenomenal transition in cricket, especially in Indian cricket, since IPL has started. So it's a very good thing for the future of cricket.
I think so. I think what it's done has been remarkable, certainly in Indian cricket. My only concern, I guess, is grassroots cricket in a lot of countries. You know, we've seen in certain countries like the West Indies where we're losing a lot of players to the national side. And, I mean, I love the IPL, but is there any way you think we can finally find a way that maybe Test match cricket won't just be played between 3 or 4 nations, or do you think that could be the future?
I think keeping the traditional way is very important. Yes, of course, some of the countries have lost a little bit of a Test charm where in 90s and 80s where West Indies used to rule the world, and there used to be a lot of top star athletes from West Indian cricket. But it's a transition probably time being when it comes to Test cricket. It's very important to retain the Test cricket. As far as the cricketer is concerned, for me, if you ask me personally, Test cricket is the pinnacle of any format. So when you represent and wear your white dress and represent your country, that is a different feeling, and always something which I used to cherish. And that has not changed from youngsters' perspective. Yes, white ball cricket has transformed, and a little bit transition-wise, it has taken a little bit of upper hold when it comes to a little bit fast-paced cricket. But I still feel Test cricket has a big role to play in the future, and because the number of balls and number of time, the kind of time which you spend on the crease, that is not matchable when it comes to shorter format cricket. When you have to develop as a cricketer, you really need to have that kind of a time and kind of a quantity which is required, which is there in Test cricket, which will always help the youngster to progress. So for a youngster's perspective, it's very important to have Test cricket intact.
Balaji, you spoke about Test cricket being the pinnacle. Now, one certain tour that comes to mind is the 2003-2004 India's tour of Pakistan, and you were one of the star players there, given that Virendra Sehwag was there, Sourav Ganguly, all the big names were there. But in an interview, Ashish Nehra mentioned that you were in fact one of the most loved players in Pakistan during that tour. Can you just reflect upon the tour and the reception that the team received?
I think 2004 too was one of the most important too for me, as well as for especially when it comes to two nations, which after 20 years, nearly 20 years, we have entered the Pakistan soil and played that friendship series in 2004. And I feel it was one of the greatest series and definitely a historical series for Indian cricket perspective. And definitely when it comes to my most memorable impact or whatever little I contributed with international cricket, 2004 series in Pakistan was one of the most memorable ones. And we created history. And yes, the names which you took, Saurav Ganguly, Sachin Tendulkar, Virendra Sehwag, Lakshman, Dravid, Kumble. So the name keeps going up and up. And then the stars, when you rub the shoulders with your childhood heroes, definitely that is something which is really memorable and really feels good as a cricketer when you take part in this kind of a tour, where you end up doing a little bit of contribution and end up having that historical victory. Definitely that is something which I cherish all my life.
Now, one of the things that you are doing, you're coming to Sharjah very soon to conduct a fast bowling coaching camp for kids. What are you looking out for in the coaching camp, and who do you welcome to come along?
I think we as a fast bowler, I feel a lot of responsibilities when it comes to the next generation of cricketers. And I feel like I should give back something in whatever things I know. Fast bowling is something which I have done all my life, and something which I really feel I can give it back to the next generation of cricketers. So fast bowling workshop is something which I always feel it's very important to have when it comes to boundaries. There is no limitations. And yes, we did have a kind of a relationship with Sharjah cricket, especially kind of a people like Shiva and Kalaf, and all these guys have been phenomenal when it comes to hosting us. So we are looking forward to have our first international workshop in Sharjah Cricket Ground, and a lot of youngsters have been enrolled, and we are really looking forward to do a wonderful job there.
And if people do want to get in contact, what's the best way they can find out more details about the coaching clinic?
I think it's there in a public view, and definitely you can get inside Sharjah Cricket and contact some of the person for the inquiry. A name called Shiva. Shiva is someone who is the CEO of Sharjah Cricket, who is involved in a lot of development in Sharjah Cricket, and Leaf Sports is other one of the academy where the tie-up between had. When it comes to inquiries, you need to go through a couple of phases like this. So I think it's very important somebody to inquire to Sharjah Cricket Association, where the inquiries normally get fulfilled within.
No, I think he's dropped out, so we might just try and get him back on the line there. Today being Tuesday, the 27th of September, we are in conversation with Lakshmipathy Balaji, who played about 8 tests for India, but now he is the bowling coach for the IPL giants, the Chennai Super Kings, and he's making his way to Sharjah very, very soon to launch a coaching clinic for kids. And wouldn't it be exciting to have a coaching clinic with an Indian international? If your young 10-year-old Pranav was at a coaching clinic trying to get down some off-cutters and Lakshmipathy was there, you'd be so nervous you wouldn't know what to say, Pranav.
100%. And I think fast bowling is an art. And the way you determine the success of a fast bowler, there can be many factors, but longevity is something. You look at the likes of Stuart Broad, Jimmy Anderson, Mitch Johnson, all these players, they had that. In the case of Lakshmipathy Balaji, a player that had to remodel his actions, he had a few stress fractures, a few surgeries here and there, but he was one of those fighter bowlers. He always stood in the face and there, but he was one of those fighter bowlers. He always stood in the face of selectors and said, I'm not done yet. So to have a bowler like that come back and coach you through your early years. I think that's really, really important.
It is, and I think, Lakshmipathy, we should have you back on the line. You just dropped out there for a second. I know you're being very generous with your time today, with today being your birthday. Are you getting spoiled by your wife, or how are you planning to celebrate the big day?
Yeah, we had a quiet, morning with the ritual of going to a temple where normally we get the blessing of the God. And it's been a little bit quiet family day, and really happy that I'm able to spend time with my family today. And yes, it's been something which, from a wife's perspective, definitely there is a lot of surprises are waiting. So hopefully, I'll end up having a good time today in the evening.
Yeah, and you deserve to. Just before you go, a couple of quick questions. Who was the best batsman that you faced?
Sachin Tendulkar, no doubt. He's one of the greatest batsmen I've bowled to, and definitely he's my childhood hero. And Sachin Tendulkar is one name where normally we all are, as the 90s cricketers, we have grown up watching him as idol, and ending up bowling with him is great.
And when you're looking into the T20 World Cup in Australia, which starts in just a couple of weeks, who do you see as the favourite right now?
Of course, as an Indian's perspective, definitely I support my country, so India is one of the favorites. Other teams have done well, and especially when it comes to T20 format, recent past, a lot of teams have gone up there. Even Sri Lanka won the Asia Cup recently with a phenomenal performance. So I feel a lot of teams have a very good chance, and I support definitely for Team India, because they have got the right momentum and the right players to back it up with big tournaments like World Cup.
Well, we do certainly appreciate your time, and we look forward to you having the coaching clinics here in Sharjah. Lakshmipathy Balaji, thank you very much for joining us on your birthday here on Talk 100.3.
Thanks a lot for having me, and thanks a lot for giving me the time to share my wonderful experience. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much on your remarkable career playing Test cricket and limited overs cricket for India. Let's recap some of your highlights.
Oh, big shot. That might be out. Yes, it is.
And this is good thinking from Balaji. That was plumb as you would get.
Oh, big appeal. That's out. Yep, it's another full swinging delivery. It's hit him on the shin bone. Shepherd did not hesitate, and Balaji has taken yet another wicket.
Gone. Has it carried? Yes, VVS Lakshman once again for India. Second catch of the innings for him.
Look at that, and Balaji does it. He's destroyed him again.
Oh, beauty.
Oh, who's bowling? Is it Michael Holding or is it Balaji? I remember Michael Holding doing that to a few batsmen. Watch this for a magnificent outswinger.
Edge and taken. Great bowling by Balaji.
Oh, tantalisingly close to second slip. He's just sort of trying to give them catching practice almost, and it's just got over the fingers.
Balaji was the real hero in this bowling performance that got India an important win.
So there's Lakshmipathy Balaji, who celebrates a birthday on this day. Don't forget, he's going to be making his way here for that fast bowling clinic as part of the Sharjah Cricket Club, where you get the opportunity to have your kids learn for an Indian international and also a bowling coach for the Chennai Super Kings. You're on TSB.